Whatever happened to Andy Griffith and
Yeah.
Don Rickles? Was he the other cop in that?
No, it's not Don Rickles. It's
No,
the skinny
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. Yeah.
Heard he was like a huge sex addict.
That makes sense.
Don
yeah.
Knotts?
Yeah, imagine that guy busting on your face. He did it. A lot of people could, it happened to a lot of people.
Where did you hear this?
I may have dreamed it, actually.
Where did you get your information
Possible
from?
that I dreamed it, but if it's true, that's pretty interesting.
Adam,
Mickey
let me ask you a
Rooney
question.
also busted on a lot of faces. Loved
Let me ask
busting
you a
on
question.
faces. I mean, who doesn't? But like, yeah.
Where'd you get your information from, son? You think you confront when revelations come?
I don't get it.
What is this?
You guys don't like Beastie Boys?
What do you want from us, dude? You're fucking quoting a random Beastie Boys lyric, and what are we supposed to do? What
am I supposed to do with what you're saying? You're looking out the window.
All right.
You zooted from Father's Day. Get your head in the game, guys. Because look,
too much fun.
We're on a mission. We're on a mission.
One of us is a rat. We got to figure it out. This podcast has a rat.
Here's a little trivia about
4 rats.
The Irish, or like something about the movie. In the movie, like so this is about an Irish mafia, Irish gangsters. They hate the Italians. They're in Hell's Kitchen. I didn't even really think about like, oh yeah, they have Irish people in Hell's Kitchen too. But anyway, they keep calling the Italians the guineas. Do you know why they call the Italians guineas?
No.
I used to know, but I can't remember.
That's cool, Mike.
Yeah, I did know.
It's a cool thing to say. All right. Yeah, I used to know also.
I did.
I knew. I did know.
Tell us.
Well, you can tell us because, we used
something
to know.
Something to do with a guinea pig or something? Or
so in Africa, French New Guinea, they used to call them Guinea Negroes because Italians are part black. So the legend goes. So when they're calling them guineas, they're just calling them black. They're just like, oh, you're African. You have African blood.
Gotcha. Classic Irish.
And that sounds like such a benign insult, but it's really offensive when you think about it. I mean, that's like really insulting. Just to be like, oh, you're part black. That's an insult.
Yeah. Just that in itself. I get what you're saying.
Just like
good stuff.
But they're like,
you gotta be like Israeli to come up with something like that these days. I'm saying.
What does that mean?
Like the way that the amount that they
dehumanize.
Dehumanize Palestinians.
But it's your people that came up with this, the Irish.
I'm not Irish. You mean your people?
You're Irish.
I'm Welsh and Danish. I don't care. What are you talking about? What are you?
Not Welsh. I pay my bets. Get it?
Well, there's a lot of inbreeding in Wales, I heard. Hey, you know who else is Welsh? Catherine Zeta-Jones. So her and I, we're kind of at the same. This is the kind of caliber of person.
Not a lot of people know this, but Adam's ass looks like her ass in that movie where she crawls under the laser.
Yeah. I could have been her ass double. The Welsh have great asses.
Sean Connery's like way into Adam Bowers and would tell him all sorts of Don Knotts trivia.
Yeah, good stuff.
It would be cool if you were like a caddy for like an old Hollywood star. An old Hollywood star, and he was just like telling you like Don Knotts used to come on a lot of ladies' faces. Hand me that 9 iron.
I'm gonna look. I guess I gotta back up what I'm saying on the podcast. I guess that's what we're doing now.
Well, Let's see.
Sex. Don Knotts sex machine. Is that a website says sex? Is he a sex machine?
Don Knotts come on face.
Maybe you're thinking of Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry was farting.
Yeah, he liked to fart.
No. Don Knotts.
Chuck Berry liked to have a glass coffee table and women prostitutes shit on.
Ah,
So let me ask you this, guys. State of Grace,
Okay.
undercover
Yeah.
cops, Irish. What do you think of this movie? What's your
why didn't
first
it?
impressions?
Why didn't anyone have an
Wow.
Irish accent or even a New York accent, or would I just not hear it?
An
Because none of them are
Irish. Well,
from
they
New
wouldn't have an
York.
Irish accent, but
Some of them might,
like leprechauns, like a leprechaun.
like Irish people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean they
they're New
should have.
York. They're from Hell's Kitchen.
So they didn't have even have New York accents.
Hey, Gary Oldman was doing his best. Like he was doing the best he could.
There are no New Yorkers in this movie.
Dude, Gary Oldman, he had to do a New York accent while also driving on the right side of the road with a left steering wheel. He's like doing, there's so many things as a British actor that he did flawlessly on a New York street. That's why he's one of the greatest of all time.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
isn't it like a set when they're driving? I mean, it's not like he's
No,
No,
driving.
no, no, no.
no,
This is
Oh,
New
no.
I don't
York.
know.
That's
You
like one of
can't
the
you
best
can't
things
do that.
this movie has going for it. Is like they're doing
Oh,
a scene on a roof with like William Oldman and Sean Penn and or
William
Gary
Old.
Oldman. And who's William Oldman? I'm thinking of Will Oldham. But Gary Oldman and Sean Penn, and they're shooting it on a real roof in New York. And they're like doing cool camera moves and stuff. Like so you
The
actually like feel like you're in the
cinematographer,
city.
cinematographer of this movie, Jordan Cronenweth. He shot Blade Runner. Stop Making Sense. He's one of the best cinematographers of all time. His son shot Fight Club, and then the director is Phil. I forget how to say his name. Phil Janot. He directed that movie 3 O'clock High.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
nah.
so he but he's not like but he's kind of like he's not like Scorsese. He's not like a New Yorker. He's not from the streets, you know. He's kind of a nerd, but this movie does have a Hollywood kind of feel to it, and that's like the one weakness. And if they had some real Irish dudes, it would have made such a big difference. Because, like Mike, you were saying, like this is just The Departed,
It is The Departed. Same movie.
but the difference is The Departed has a gangster who's an undercover
Yeah.
as a cop.
Right. Yes.
So that's more complicated. And also, they're in Boston. It's like Matt Damon's from Boston,
They had Irish accents or
Mark
Boston
Wahlberg,
accents at least.
and
Baldwin.
there's some Irish there's some Irish actors mixed in as like the hoods. Because like if you go to New York and you go to an Irish pub, a bartender will have an Irish accent. There's a lot of people from Ireland living in New York. I'm surprised I didn't
Okay.
get any of them. But
Yeah.
Like they
it's
just go ahead.
this movie's cool, but it's very Hollywood. It's very much a genre film. It doesn't feel realistic at all. It's like it's kind of melodramatic, but all the actors are, even though they're not exactly perfect for the role, they're all still cool. It's like Sean Penn's cool, Gary Oldman's cool. Ed Harris, I think, is the best part of the movie as the leader of the gang, and Gary Oldman's brother. And the other thing is, I was doing research. They're inspired by real gangsters who lived in um, Hell's Kitchen, and their gang was called the Westies, and they were like the Irish gangsters who worked with the Italian gangsters.
Yeah, they
But
worked
you
with
don't,
the DeMeo crime family. I saw that. That would be Gambinos.
yeah. So, but
Which I
our
believe the DeMeo family is what The Sopranos is based after, right?
well, they're New Jersey people,
Yeah.
so
I thought that was based on Gotti.
no.
God, he's New York.
Gotti
Yeah,
lived in Brooklyn, I think. Gotti, yeah, he lived in Brooklyn, but
All right. Um, hey, something else that's cool about this movie and about like Irish versus Italians. You were saying that it's like it opened on the same weekend as the Goodfellas.
I didn't say that, but
Oh, you didn't say that?
it opened a week before Goodfellas. Apparently, I was watching the Siskel and Ebert, and they're like, "There's this movie coming out called Goodfellas next week. Way better than this movie, but this is pretty good."
Oh, it opened the week after.
And the other thing about this movie is that it was made by Orion Pictures, and Orion in 1990 like went bankrupt, and all their movies kind of got dumped with no marketing and no one really saw them. And if you look up the poster for this movie, State of Grace, it's one of the worst movie posters I've ever seen. It's just a complete dud of a poster. There are no characters on it. There are no actors. It's basically all black. And then there's a little white graphic where you see a doorway, and then you see like a guy walking into a doorway, and there's like a long shadow, and it's like State of Grace, a film about the Irish mob. And you're like, you have a movie with Sean Penn and Gary Oldman. You should be fucking Ed Harris. You should put him on the poster. What are you doing?
Dude, you are
Is it supposed to look like a
dragging
tie? It looks like a
Orion
tie.
Pictures right now, man.
Well, fuck them. They're out of business. They came back, but it's not the same if you ask me.
They've been through enough.
I like Orion, RoboCop, great film. Also in this movie, Robin Wright, future Mrs. Sean Penn. This is where he met her, and there's like cool sex scenes where he like, makes love to her, and it's like he really liked her.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool. It's like, hey, is this a movie or a documentary? What's going on?
She
Those
wasn't
scenes-
fine enough. She should have been hotter.
What would you have preferred,
Like-
Mike? I thought she's a beautiful
She's
blonde
beautiful.
actress.
What are you talking about?
Too
Well, she has red hair
skinny.
in the movie.
No,
Oh.
no form. I understand that's how the girls looked back then, but I mean, she got no body. She looks like a.
You want every girl or every actress in old movies to look like
Yes, I do.
Instagram.
Please. Can they
Like,
go
Megan
back
Thee-
and? Can they go back and like edit her or something?
you could do you've got to create an AI system that does that to old movies.
I do. Like a filter that just makes them thick. Yeah, I need that.
Your preferred body
Guys,
type
too.
was not popular in the 80s and 90s.
Yes, I know. Heroin chic and all
Hey.
that. Everyone looking like a fucking board or a
We were-
twig or something.
We were talking about this a couple weeks ago about like who was thick from back then, and Williams threw out Pam Grier, which is really good.
Mhm.
I was also thinking about it. Dolly Parton.
She was fine when she was young, for sure. I get what everyone was saying about her.
I'm trying to think
She was
about
super
some.
fine. Thick white ladies from back then. Let me think.
Yeah.
The mom from Throw Mama from the Train.
Owen.
Goonies.
Well, my
That's-
foot.
Is that your style?
Owen. Yes, definitely. Like
She's
old
thick.
fat ladies. That's my type.
She wasn't fat. No, she was she got a good body for her
She's
age.
old.
All right,
I mean,
Mike,
the
you
classic one is
bastard.
Betty Page from back in that time, right? She was super hot. I mean, it's a little bit before this movie.
Mike.
Yes, I'm Mike. Yes, tell me.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes,
Yeah,
Marilyn
yeah,
Monroe's
Marilyn Monroe.
fine.
She was-
I like her.
I'm just saying, when's it going to be enough?
Daryl Hannah.
Nothing.
Mike is frowning big
Okay,
time.
okay. What about like you don't like Splash, Daryl Hannah?
No.
What about
What about Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts?
She is a little bit thin, but she was hot in that movie. I'll give her that. I'll give you that one.
Why? What's different about her than her face?
She's thicker than the one from this movie for sure.
I don't know, man. She's pretty thin.
so I didn't notice this
Let me-
actress being particularly thin. Or what'd you call her? Stick figure bitch or something?
Like a board. She looks like a board. Like a
Board.
stick figure or like a straight
Your
board.
words, not mine.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's a beautiful lady. She's a Princess Bride, of course.
What do you think about
So,
like Michelle Pfeiffer?
I got a
No.
bad for her.
No.
Scarface.
No, nothing negative. Jesus.
He's baiting you, Mike.
Yeah, I get it, and it's working. It's
What about
duh.
Jessica Rabbit? Who Framed Roger
Oh
Rabbit?
my, perfect. Anna Nicole Smith. Oh my God.
Naked Gun,
The great
33 and a third.
actresses.
Mm-hmm,
What about- okay, here's one. Sean Young, Blade Runner.
She is super fine, and I will give you that she is thin, but she has a beautiful face and awesome personality.
What
I
about
will go with her.
What about
The
her penis?
robot.
Just kidding.
What
She was
about-
fine in
That was
Ace
just a
Ventura.
character, of course. I can't.
Batman.
Oh man,
Batman, Vicky Vale, Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. Yeah, she's Didn't I don't remember her being very.
Cool World. Cool World.
Okay, okay. I'll give you a 7 out of 10 for her.
Okay, what about this one? This is the last one.
Okay.
Last one.
We should keep doing this for like another.
Bartertown. The leader, Tina Turner.
Mm.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Queen. Give it up for the Queen, Mike.
Let me look real quick right here. Tina Turner.
You think
We
you
don't
could
need
handle
another hero. We don't need another hero.
I'll take her. I'll take her. She's fine enough. She'll do. And she's super cool in that movie. As long as she wears that gear from that movie, I'll take her.
Oh yeah.
Auntie.
Okay, okay.
They call her auntie, right? Yeah, I'll take it.
So, but Robin Wright, future Mrs. Sean Penn.
So fun
She-
to think about how
she
that
had-
Hollywood romance.
She had 2 kids with Sean Penn.
Picturing Princess Bride and I Am Sam falling in love. That's beautiful.
Princess Buttercup.
Yeah, yeah, she's a princess. I don't know. I don't know. Sean Penn's thinking.
Have you seen I Am Sam?
Yeah, it's
I
been a
don't
while. It's been a while.
When
I've
I
never-
told you, I told this story on the podcast. When that movie came out, I was at a grocery store and there were like 5 special people who like all came in a group on a little short bus. And then they were
Okay.
telling the cashier, and I'm waiting in line.
That's cool.
and
That's
like,
cool. They're gonna help.
They're telling the cashier like, after this, we're gonna go see I Am Sam. We're gonna go see. And I was just like
Dude, I bet they were
dying
pumped.
inside. I was like, of course.
Of
Fucking
course,
they
these
can't wait.
idiots.
Of course they're gonna see it. Of course, here we go.
Oh, they're so stupid, William.
Oh, so predictable.
Yeah. You should have like stepped in and been like, actually, there's a lot better movies playing in the movie theater right now.
I wish I
You
could have followed
going
them.
to see Jackie Brown or whatever else is playing.
I should have followed them and just been like,
And
Yo.
bought a ticket and sat behind.
and like like Vertigo, just like stalked them and like wormed my
God.
way into their lives.
But instead of doing it with one beautiful woman, you did it with 5. Like challenge people.
And I was like, it's like
Differently
really. I'm
able.
like, hey, how about I come to your birthday party? They're like, okay. I'm like, yes, I'm getting in there. No, but
That's
we
you.
didn't talk about
married to all of them.
State of Grace. You know, there's
Oh,
other
yeah.
actors in this movie. John C. Riley shows up.
Is he Irish?
Solid.
He was in Gangs of
Yes.
New York as an Irishman. Oh, okay, there you go. Got one.
Irish cop.
Might as
Gangs
well
in New
be
York?
John O'Reilly. You know what I'm saying?
Gangs in New York is a similar film too. Like he's kind of undercover in the gang, and he betrays.
It
the
is a
leader.
common, yeah. Well, so you have two type, or like that's a type of gangster movie, a way into a gangster movie. Goodfellas is like it's I don't know what the fucking different type of movie that it is, but it's like there's one way of doing a gangster movie is by having a cop be going in the gang.
Well, yeah, and then
You
the
know
other
what I'm
one, the Goodfellas one, is the classic.
Thank you.
Best gangster film of all time.
The rise and fall. It's like, hey,
Rise
this is
and
really
Fall, that's it.
cool.
Yeah, Scarface, like kind of shit.
Yeah, like, hey, it's so awesome. We have all this money. We're doing all this cool stuff, and then
We were talking about that. There's a movie on it's on YouTube, but in like good quality, but it was the first gangster movie. Oh fuck.
From what, like the 30s?
It's called yeah, something like that. It's silent, I
Underworld?
think. Underworld, yeah.
Oh,
Salvador
okay.
Dali's favorite movie, I heard. So I haven't watched that. But I've been wanting to watch it. I've been thinking about it.
it's cool. It's like Scarface.
I should have
But,
watched it before this. Oh well.
You know, the gangster is a fun movie archetype, but in State of Grace, we got an undercover cop, Sean Penn. He shows up at the
Irish.
beginning. He's with
No.
John Turturro, and they're doing a little deal. Like he gives John Turturro gives him a gun, and then he goes on a deal. The other guy Sean Penn's with is James Russo. Now he's uncredited. James Russo is also in Beverly Hills Cop. He's like a legendary New York actor, but he never really made it big. I should have done more research. There's something like with his backstory, like drugs or something, where he didn't make it, or he
Not
fucked
related to
something up.
Rene Russo. Is he related to Rene Russo?
Mike,
I have no idea. I didn't do any research.
What's your opinion on that woman?
She was hot in
Boiled
some movie.
down.
She's hot in some movie. I can't remember which one, but no, she's still
In the Line
she's
of
still thin.
Fire?
Get Shorty.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it.
What
She's
about
all-
the
she's-
woman that
she's all
remember
right.
when John Malkovich broke 2 women's necks in quick succession in the Line of Fire?
No,
Were they hot?
I don't. He
Before
broke
or
the next
after?
with it, or he shot him with the plastic gun by the river. I don't remember him breaking anyone's neck, but maybe he did.
I just want to paint for the listeners when Mike is saying all this stuff about women. You got to understand, Mike is like a 10. He's like a
thank
very
you.
chiseled, like handsome, basically like one of the he has like really beautiful long hair. I feel like
Chiseled.
I'm doing a podcast with Fabio basically. So
A chiseled 5'8", 220 pounds, slim.
yeah. It's all muscle.
Muscle weighs
So-
more than fat, bro. So I mean, you're probably right.
That's true.
That's what a lot of fat guys tell me.
Yeah.
Heyo. So this is funny. So Sean Penn just shows up at the bar, and then there's Gary Oldman. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy to see you, my best friend." And he's like, "Come on, join the gang. Come on, this guy, everybody, he's in the gang now." And he's just like, immediately starts showing him everything. He shows. This is a cool scene early on where he takes him to the roof of their hideout, and he goes to a refrigerator, and he opens a freezer, and he shows him Sean Penn these 2 hands that have been cut off. And he's like, "Look at these hands. So like if you get a gun, you can plant fingerprints on it with these hands." And Sean Penn's like, "Oh man, that's gross. Oh man, get it away from me." And then Gary Oldman has the hands. He's like, "Ha ha ha." And he's like touching Sean Penn.
That's a very Gary Oldman thing to do, by the way. Like to be like to like go like woo and like poke at the other actor and stuff like that and like be freaky. You know what I'm saying?
What did you think of his hairdo in this movie?
Gary
He needs,
Oldman.
he needs to wash it.
Is it greasy?
He needs Per Plus.
This is
That
like the
hand-
gre-
good.
that hand scene reminded me of Eastern Promises when they took the frozen body out of the freezer and cut all his fingers off. It made me think of that.
Also, remember in The Departed, there's a scene where Jack Nicholson has a hand. And he's like joking around with Ray Winstone, and like I forget if DiCaprio's
yeah.
there, but there's like a hand in that scene too. He's like, ooh, he's like fucking around with it.
That's a ripoff.
At a
Scorsese
table.
ripped this movie off.
Well, apparently this is based on a real anecdote, a real thing that like these Westies actually did.
A
lot of the-
I see.
The
And,
Departed was more based on Whitey Bulger. I think was supposed to be kind of loosely related to that, right?
yeah, definitely. And then
the Winter Hill Gang.
I got a Whitey Bulger for you, Mike.
Hell yeah, send it over, bro.
my penis.
You're too skinny.
It's
but,
white.
yeah, you're
and
kind of bored. You're kind of boardy, kind of like a board.
I'm a stick figure bitch.
Yeah, you look like a 35-year-old boy.
would you
I-
fuck
Dude, thank you, man.
Adam?
Would you fuck me, Mike?
Absolutely.
This guy knows what he's doing.
What about Michelle
He's a smooth
Pfeiffer,
talker.
Batman Returns, Catwoman?
No, No.
Yes.
nothing there.
Yes. Mike would fuck me.
How
and
about
Michelle
Danny
Pfeiffer.
DeVito at the end in his onesie, black blood pouring out of his mouth?
No,
Wow.
He's dude. Danny DeVito's thick in that movie. What are you
he's
talking
the
about,
right
Mike?
size, but he's a man and a bird. I can't. I can't.
Oh,
No.
Gotcha. Just trying to learn
Let me-
what your orientation is.
For example, I don't really like chicken. Right? When I look at a chicken, I don't really think like, man, that's a little stringy thing. I don't
He
eat
doesn't
that.
like chicken.
When I see a
Oh.
cow, I'm like, yeah, I want to eat that. That makes me hungry for sure.
What about a pig?
Same thing. Oh my god, yes.
You like how much pork do you eat a week?
That's it. For me, it goes pork, beef, fish, chicken. That's how it goes. I had
No.
I had a bacon sandwich yesterday. Slice
Just
it.
bacon.
Bacon and mayo, baby. Bacon and mayo. It was delicious.
Bacon and mayo, baby.
Uh,
Dude, that sounds. It's quite decadent.
You had a
honestly.
BM.
yeah, I had a BLT.
That's
I
what-
just forgot about the LT.
That's what they call it, the BM. Dude, what is this, Versailles? Before
Yes.
the revolution? That's what I feel like.
Elvis.
Looking at Mike's
Put some
apartment right
bananas
now.
in there.
Pork is cheap, bro. Pork is the cheapest meat.
Well,
That's not
pork
why you
is
eat it.
No, it is not. I'm just saying it's not like
that's
Versailles.
why
It's
is pork the cheapest meat? That's fucked up. It should be chicken.
Because
actually no. I'm sorry. You're right. It's about the same. Yeah,
Come
you're
on,
right.
William.
Wait, what?
You know why.
Chicken can usually be cheaper. That's a good point.
I don't know why. What?
You know why.
Spell it
Think
out
about
or
think
mouth
about
it out.
I'm afraid. I'm
Okay.
afraid.
Easy now.
I think we're onto something. I'm not quite sure what, but
Oh
we're
Jesus
definitely onto it.
Christ. Something's going on. But we find out, Gary Oldman, his sister is Robin Wright, his brother is Ed Harris. Now, this is something I found very unrealistic.
That they don't look alike at all.
They're
I hate
Irish
that.
and the children are born several years apart. What's going on? We need
Yeah,
11 to
let's face it.
13 kids born in about as fast as possible, one after the other. The
Say that,
phrase
Willie.
Irish twins, this is an unrealistic depiction of the Irish.
I had trouble buying that Ed Harris. Like Robin Wright, I was already kind of being like, come on, but then they like dye your hair red. So you're
That's what
like,
they did to
okay.
Ed Harris too. They just made his hair a little bit lighter and like, oh, he must be Irish then.
Ed Harris, you said you liked him better than Gary Oldman, William, in this
Yes.
movie? Why? I mean, why don't you like Gary Oldman the best? Because he's obviously giving like the biggest performance and stuff.
Well, I've seen this movie a few times. The reason why I watched this movie was because I saw an interview where someone asked like Gary Oldman, "What's your favorite role?" And he said State of Grace, and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen that movie. I should watch it." And the first time I watched it was all I could see was Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Everything was Gary Oldman. But this time watching it, I'm looking at Ed Harris, and Ed Harris has his part wouldn't be as good if Gary Oldman wasn't so flashy. But the fact that he can be quiet, he's always thinking,
Right.
he's like always like the gears are turning. Like they play really well off each other. And he's also the leader. And I think it's like he makes it believable that he's the leader and that he's also like more conniving and fucked up than the rest of them. Like he's the one betraying his gang to sell out and make money with the Italians. He's constantly betraying his own members. And then Gary Oldman is doing I kept comparing Gary Oldman to De Niro in Mean Streets. This is like a classic gangster character, the loose cannon,
Yeah.
the loud brash guy, the one who's always getting into trouble, and he's emotional and he's big and he's loud. And there's also like some goofy ass shit Gary Oldman does. Like when like John C. Riley dies, Robin Wright says, "Turn around and another person dies." And he goes, "Oh yeah, really?" And then he just starts spinning around. He's like, "I turned around, no one's dead. I'm turned around, no one's dead." And he's what,
totally.
30 something years old? But here's
he's riffing, I feel like.
something I
a lot of
saw
fun.
that was really that I thought was interesting was I was searching for State of Grace stuff on YouTube, and every Irish comedian is talking about it. So I found Bill Burr talking about it, but he was like, "Ah, geez, I haven't seen that in a long time. I should." But then like, there's a clip of Colin Quinn talking about it, and Colin Quinn's like, he's like, "I knew people who worked on that movie as like background actors, and they said Gary Oldman was so good that he acted exactly like this gangster named Jackie Coonan, who was the brother of the leader of the Westies. The leader of the Westies was Jimmy Coonan, but Colin Quinn said these guys said that Gary Oldman was like a ghost. It was like the spitting image of a real person." And it's like, I cannot believe it's like I have to see this guy.
But he's doing the same thing that he does, and I love young Gary Oldman, and like him and Meantime and Sid and Nancy. He's like, amazing. But that's exactly what he's doing in this movie, except he has like he's trying to have like that New York accent and stuff.
Are you calling him Gary Old Man on purpose?
What are you talking about?
Isn't it Gary Oldman?
That's his name, Gary Oldman.
Okay. I got it. I get it now.
How do you spell his name, Mike?
Oldman. Oldman. Ye Oldman.
No E.
Oh shit.
Just
you got me.
leave a damn alone.
Yeah, hell yeah. Call me that from now on.
A damn. A dom.
Pretty funny.
Okay, so yeah.
So
friggin',
anyway.
yeah, Sean Penn was cool, and so was the other guy, the older guy. But the coolest character is Pat by far. The henchman. That was my favorite character.
It'd have been
Definitely.
cool if it was Pat from SNL in this movie. Then it would really be the coolest character.
Ed Harris loves Pat. He seems to give him all his twisted information. He lets him do all the bad jobs.
It's his
Well,
right hand man. He's a lieutenant,
Yeah.
and I respect that. As
Some-
when I was a wannabe gangster, I was a good lieutenant, but never. I'm not a captain, and I can
Right.
recognize that.
Were you in a gang, Mike?
No, I was not. I was never affiliated. I just
They
wanted
ne-
to be.
They never let you in.
They never
about
asked
the-
me to join. No.
What about the Italian gangster in this
Sorry,
movie?
bro.
What do you think of that actor?
I'd let you
Pat-
join my gang.
Thank
Pat
you.
Vitrelli.
Let's start a gang. He was good. He was very good.
He was
played-
in a gangster in a movie called
Yeah.
Eraser with Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger and play. It's one of the most cartoonish, terrible gangsters in movie
Eraser,
history.
that movie's awesome. So I was thinking about something about Ed Harris because he has this like gravity to him and like I don't know, he is like and he's like a type of actor that has like a lot of he's very manly seeming and like very worldly or world weary or whatever and like grizzled and stuff like that. But it's like, and I was thinking he really gives off that vibe and everything, which is why he's like a movie star and like is so good and everything and all that. But when does like an actor become or like because if he was like an unemployed actor in Hollywood or like a regular working actor in Hollywood, you don't have time to be that guy, but also be like have headshots where you're like,
Well, he's a leading man.
you know what I'm saying? Like when do they be is it real? Is that real? That image that you feel from these guys and when do they stop? When do they get that and are not just like fucking actors that are constantly going out on auditions and like this is not that because that's not a very masculine, cool, tough.
Well, who's another actor like
profession.
this? Viggo Mortensen.
Or like Sam Elliott, like
These are like leading men. It's a
so
tough thing
what?
being a
What's the
leading
point?
man.
What's the point
So-
about a leading man?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Well, there's character actors and leading men.
Yeah, but
and
I'm
leading-
just talking about
and
actors.
leading
like, with
men have
headshots and
different-
shit.
Have different
roles.
types, different like they play things differently and they have different expectations and they're not allowed to do certain things.
I'm just saying, is Ed Harris actually like that, or does he just seem like that on movies? And in reality, he's just a fucking
No, he's like
lame
that.
actor. Like all
No. Yeah, he's cool.
like because if you're
Oh,
not a
yeah.
successful actor, you're doing your life is very lame, and you're like constantly trying and you're doing all this like very lame shit in like the casting industry and all that stuff. And once you're like a big actor, then you get to be like a real person and have like interests and you know what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah,
what you're talking
I'm sorry,
about.
man. I missed the point.
I
You're
was trying to
make. I
help
don't mean
you,
to be a
but
dick.
if you're going to insist on being this terrible,
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just doing like a well, you don't have to. Yeah, I know you don't have to like. Geez, you could try to understand what
I
I'm
did.
saying.
I
No,
did.
you're
and
trying to
you're
like repackage it for like the podcast, but you should be listening to my words and trying to like.
what are you talking about?
You're saying that Ed Harris is not a big star, or I
No,
didn't...
no, I'm saying he is. He's great.
Okay.
But I'm
Why don't
saying
you-
it
Why
made me
don't you
think
like
about.
him?
He doesn't have
I
head.
love
He doesn't
him.
have headshots or
Well,
something.
I want to kiss his head. He like
You ever see
it
Westworld?
just made me think about like what actors
Show?
are like before they're successful, and they're just like they do not have these cool, tough, interesting lives.
Well, I'll say this: the thing that makes it
Manly and
actor-
shit, you know.
an actor like Ed Harris interesting
Come on,
is that
guys.
you don't know what his life is like outside of him being an actor.
He
That's
seems like that he has one of these lives, but he
calm
could
down.
very
I'm
easily
speaking.
not.
I'm calm. Hey, calm
Fine.
down.
Hey,
Dude,
I think you need
Mike's,
to calm down,
Mike's
buddy.
daughter is not
Buddy.
going to like it if you talk over me.
You keep talking in front of him. She does not like that.
What
Tell
I was
her
going to say is
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
an actor needs their mystique They need their mystery. That's what makes them interesting. A lot of people say like I don't like De Niro anymore because I know so much about his politics. I know so much about his inane opinions.
Yeah, it's more just like,
You never see Ed Harris give interviews or like here's my book like or Ed Harris unloads on Mitch McConnell. Like he's not doing stupid shit like that. He's just like I'm an
well,
actor. I show up. I'm cool.
yeah, like I'm guessing he was like a theater actor and stuff, and he came from that. But like I was just saying, like at one point,
No. He came from porn. He was actually a porn star.
Ed
in 19
Harris?
Yeah.
wow,
Oh,
that's awesome.
But he was a porn star with the smallest penis.
It
But he
was
would get roles because he was a great actor with this grizzled
wow.
intensity that you don't see very often.
That's a
So it
Star is
was
Born kind of thing.
yes. It was like Boogie Nights, but they're all looking at how small it was.
That's a
And they were
good.
just
I
like,
want
wow.
to see that movie. That's Bucky Larson, actually. I think that's a movie called Bucky Larson. But
So it's, you know,
anyway, that's cool. Yeah, he's good. He has like history, and I
he's
think that's like
stoic.
important for an actor to like a lot of actors that are trying to be actors and then they don't or they just end up like in commercials and shit. It's like they're improv actors or whatever. It's like they don't have like history. They don't you don't feel like they have history when you look at their face.
Hold on. What are you talking
You know what I'm
about?
talking about? Like a lot like they've had a life before this. It's just people being like,
LA improv actors don't have
yeah,
that
or I'm
grizzled
just
history and intensity. Wow, this is
commercial like people a lot of I'm just talking about actors in general.
the Verizon guy.
I'm just thinking.
What about Flo from Progressive? Does she have that?
She's got it.
Yeah, I mean, look, LA doesn't have good actors,
Okay, forget. I should
right?
not have
That's the
brought it back
problem is
up
that
again.
we live in LA and we were like, all these actors are dumb.
I
What
thought
are
I
they
had a
doing?
really
What are they
interesting
doing with
point.
their lives? And then you go, but in New York, it's like,
Oh
wow,
yeah,
look at that guy, John Turturro. He's so interesting.
or there's just like an actor in a play that everybody. We have no idea what we're fucking talking about. By the way,
Of course we
let's
don't. But
just
the
move
thing is,
on.
we have microphones and we're speaking into them.
That's true. That's all that matters. Hey,
And
remember
only
that
one,
one scene where they where Gary Oldman and Sean Penn set fire to the building and then run through it
yes, that was ridiculous.
just having fun. What about when they
just
shake
for a
down the
goof?
bar
The old man.
and they're like, you have to buy
Hey,
this cheap booze? And he's like, I don't want that. And they're like, oh, you don't want to buy it? And then he starts smashing everything. And then John C. Riley's like, don't do that. And then they just start like fighting in the bar. And then Ed Harris is like, oh, get out of here. And then he's like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. What the fuck?
yeah,
It would
but
be cool if they had a podcast. It would probably be a lot like ours. And I could see Ed Harris being mad at all the immature gangsters.
you're saying that you're Ed Harris?
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
was saying. He's alluding to the
Yeah.
fact
This
that
is
he's
what
Ed
he's
Harris.
alluding to. Oh my God.
I would kill
Class
you guys. I
typical.
would kill you guys to be on
Sorry,
a bigger
William, you don't.
podcast.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Mafia podcast.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure there's no mafia podcast, that's for sure.
Then it turns out John C. Riley owes money to the
Wait, hold
gangsters
on.
and they cut his throat. And then
Who cares?
these are cool
Why are you trying
scenes,
to go
dude.
through the thing? No, the setting of the fire and running through it was like an amazing scene. You don't have nothing to talk about that?
I didn't bring it up.
Well, I know, but you just have not. Well, I was just saying, like, I brought it up and then you like quick immediately moved on. But it's like that's like one of the best scenes, the best thing. Like that
I
scene
thought it
was
was
like
dumb.
incredible, I thought.
I thought it was
But it's
dumb.
so. But listen, they couldn't use stunt doubles
Why?
because they're showing them running through.
Oh, at the very end, yeah, they come out. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's Sean Penn and Gary Oldman running through a burning building. It's cool. It's one of the coolest things that you could do. It's like one of the most intense, crazy things.
Well, I heard when they were shooting that, there was a horrible problem that Sean Penn like wouldn't run quickly because he kept trying to light his cigarette on the fire. He would just
That's really
one after
interesting.
just chain smoking the whole time. He's just like, I gotta light.
That's crazy, man.
Sean Penn really needs to quit smoking, that guy. I mean, it's like you're 60 something years old, dude. What are you doing? Every time you see him in an interview, he's like, we're volunteering at the hospital to give COVID first responders birthday cakes. And it's just like he's just like smoking an entire pack of cigarettes.
We're worried about you, Sean.
I'm worried about him. He's
Good.
one of our great actors.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, what do you think about that? Stunt doubles. You couldn't use them in that scene.
Yeah, they're like Jackie Chan. They said they would watch Jackie Chan laser discs, and they were obsessed with the real life stunt work of Jackie Chan, and they were like, I'm going method."
Sean Penn
That's
and
what
Gary Oldman said that.
Gary Oldman said that, and he's like, "I'm going method. I'm just gonna light everything on fire." And Sean Penn's
It's a crazy
like,
thing to do.
"I'll do it too, dude. Whoa!" And then he just
Well, it worked. Adam loved it. It worked. It totally worked.
Yep, they got me.
and Taylor
I-
Negron delivered a pizza. It was hilarious.
I'm a big Taylor Negron fan.
You ever see Fast Times?
That's my Taylor's. That's my wife likes Taylor Swift, and I like Taylor Negron.
You ever seen Biodome?
Oh yeah,
He's the
oh yeah,
pizza
he's
man
great
in
in Biodome.
Biodome, and that's a reference to Fast Times.
Did you know that, Adam?
I think it's messed up that they call him Negron though. Like
But
that's
it's
the
better. It's
that's
better than
the,
his real name.
so.
So yeah, that scene was. I thought it was silly that they're running through the building, but I could see
Oh,
what
it's
you're
silly,
saying.
of course.
From a technical standpoint, it was hard
Now
to
let's
do.
talk
and
about
that makes sense.
There's hard stuff to do in this movie, like
why-
hard city stuff to do, and like
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
get
that.
it. I get what you're saying now.
Why
And
are
I
they
didn't-
doing that?
Why are they burning the building down?
Yeah,
That's a fair question.
Insurance money.
No, why is it? I thought you were asking why are they doing it in this really stupid, risky way?
no.
Oh, I see.
Was it for the insurance money, or was it for to get the yuppies out?
Yeah, he was
Oh
like,
yeah. Right.
They're
yuppies.
mad about
Yeah,
yuppie.
yes.
Gary Oldman's like
Yeah.
pissed. He's like, all these yuppies are moving in, and their dogs are shitting everywhere, and they.
It wasn't a
How's-
business. It was like a building. Yeah, I got you.
This guy, he's like he's a
Oh my
townie.
God. Yeah, totally.
I get it. It's like me and my brother in San Francisco. We're like, come on, don't move here.
I thought you grew up in, where's the town you guys grew up in, Mike?
Castro Valley. But I believe William lived in San Francisco before he lived in Castro Valley, right?
True.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's why I
For
left,
how
because
long?
I was like, I don't really live here. I'm going, David. See you later. But he's still there.
That's cool.
And he complains about this all the fucking time.
He should set a building on fire.
Well, we'll mention that
You-
to him. He's a
try
giant
to run
pussy,
through it?
so he probably won't. Yeah, but
Tell
you know,
him,
we can mention
yeah,
it to
say,
him.
I bet you won't set the building on fire and light it from the inside and try to run out.
I'll double dog dare him.
Yeah. And if he doesn't do it,
Set his building on fire.
yeah.
It's not good to set buildings on fire.
Arson is probably one of the least cool crimes. That's definitely true.
But what if it was like somebody whose house everyone hated?
Like Freddy Krueger,
Yeah.
child killer.
Yeah. If there was a child, why? Also, man, this motherfucker killed children and then they set his house on fire and he comes back and kills. It's like, that is an annoying guy.
He's pretty funny.
Take a hint.
He has charisma.
You should have had your house set on fire if you killed all those kids.
You're a bad man.
So,
So John C. Riley
You know.
dies. He gets his throat cut, and then it's Sean Penn's so upset. He tells Robin Wright, like, I'm a cop. I'm a Judas cop. And she's like,
what if he said that like it was I Am Sam?
I'm a cop. I'm a cop. The funny scene in I Am Sam is when he goes to Payless with his daughter, and she wants like shoes that cost like $22. He's like, okay, I'll pay for it. And then he gives the lady like $10. And she's like, it's not enough money. He's like, what? And then Dakota Fanning has to be like, Daddy, it's not enough money. He's like, what? But I want to pay for the shoes. It's so awful. And then the whole movie has Beatles covers. And they're like, really? They're just like Starbucks coffee CD Beatles covers.
Yeah,
They're
it's cool.
so lame.
Muzak.
That's like me and my kid. at the shoe store. What
That's
about
cool.
yeah. Um that's what Ryan would say it was like me if he was here, but he's not here. So
It's tough, man. You know,
what stuff?
they don't let the retarded have credit cards, and they should.
Yeah, that's not cool. Oh,
Come
I guess I
on,
understand why. I thought about it for a second.
give him a credit
I
card.
thought about it for another second, and then I understood why it was maybe not a good idea. But at first, I was like very offended. So,
Wonder why.
but I think
Glad you
it.
got over that.
I
Well,
wonder why
William, what
that.
are you implying?
I wonder why. Hmm.
I can be
Hmm.
offended by something that doesn't affect me personally. Okay.
What about the scene where there's a so like John C. Riley dies, and Ed Harris is like, I guess
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the
the movie.
Italians. I guess it was the Italians, and then he's like, Gary Oldman goes into a bar, and there's like these three Irish guys, like, you got any green beer? What the you got a leprechaun cookie or something? I'm stupid. I'm Italian. They're just sitting at a table, and then they're like, hey, Gary Oldman, why don't you come and sit with us? And he's like, okay. And he comes over and he just shoots them all, just kills them in the middle of everyone. Three guys, three made men. And then the head of the Italian mafia is like, we need to have a sit down.
Dude.
I don't think this guy respects us. He's like, he tells Ed Harris, like, I don't want to have a war. So you got to take care of it. And then there's this crazy scene where Gary
I
Oldman
want
has
to talk about this
Uzi.
stuff.
Yeah. These are the best guns to the movie, definitely.
They
Got
all
Mac
have the
10s, Uzis,
Uzis. Yeah, and
Mac
they're just
10.
like all these dudes have Uzis, and they're just like all hyped up. They're like, "We're gonna fucking kill them. We're gonna kill all the Italians. Let's do it." And there's this whole thing with a telephone call and blah blah blah. And then you're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be the biggest shootout ever. They're gonna kill all the Italians." And they're running down with all their guns, and they're like, they look like Killing Zoe. They all have like the greasy hair and the black leather jackets. And they're skinny, and they're smoking. And Sean Penn's like, "Guys, we shouldn't do this. This is dumb. This is not right." And then at the last minute, Ed Harris signals like, "Don't do it," and then it's nothing happens. You're like, "Oh, okay."
Some of those
Yeah, I thought that was
cronies
kind of
seems
lame.
like they might have been Irish. They didn't really talk a whole
Well,
lot, but they kind of look like dirty Irishmen, I guess. I'm not sure what that
hey,
exactly looks like, but
what'd you think about the after he shoots those three guys in the bar, which seems like a really cool thing to do if you're just like drunk at a bar and you see three like loud Italian guys, thinking of yourself as being an Irish guy, you see
okay.
three loud Italian guys come in the bar and you're already really drunk and you have a gun, walking over and just shooting all three of them. And that seemed pretty cool.
Yes, that's why that scene is cool.
So, and then after that, there's a really cool like steady cam shot of him like walking out of the bar and then getting into his car. And then it's like one of those like it's one of those shots where like this cameraman goes on a step is on a steady cam or something like that, and then he goes onto a crane, and then it becomes like a crane shot
In New York, the whole
in New
thing is like,
York. That's what this movie has that movies now don't have. Honestly, that I was like, I appreciated a lot when I was watching it. It was like that movies need like some spec. You're just not getting any of this shit in modern movies. Like
there's
this,
a scene.
the hard like things that are hard to execute.
There's a scene in this movie at the St. Patrick's Day parade on Fifth Avenue. It's the real St. Patrick's Day parade. There's like hundreds of bagpipers and guys marching and thousands of people in the crowd. And I was thinking about the new Indiana Jones movie, which is so fucking terrible. It's one of the worst movies ever made, Dial of Destiny. They have a parade scene in New York, and it's just all CGI. It's all digital. It looks so fake. It looks so lame. The movie cost like $300 million, and they just can't even have a shot. Like one shot can't even look real. And yes, they're smart with how they made this movie. It's just a real shame it just bombed and then barely anyone saw it. But they worked their ass off.
Or what? Nothing. Now they're dead.
No, they're alive.
Oh, okay.
Not for
Oh,
long
good.
if you keep smoking them cigarettes, Sean Penn.
Sean, we're worried.
Come on, have a little popsicle.
Get some gum, nicotine gum, dude. Come on.
Papa's in. Hit a fume.
All
Sean
right,
Penn
settle
looks.
down, Mike.
Would you fuck Sean
Something.
Penn?
No.
Okay, good.
What if it was Sean? What if it was Sean Peen
No.
instead of you wouldn't fuck him if it was Sean Peen?
No, I'd have even less respect for him if he had a stupid name.
Okay, okay.
Take him down a peg.
So respect is important though for you to be
Oh,
to want
yeah.
to fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I do have to respect a woman to fuck her. Are you saying that you prefer the other way
A
around?
woman or Sean Penn or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. Hey, man, as long as it's warm and there's a little heat in there or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Sean Penn's got a nice warm hole for you, Mike.
Exactly. Sorry, not wet and a little bit of wetness I need. But we can do
It's
without
not
that.
wet. It's dry. It's really dry, but
Well,
Like
you'll
old
make do.
leather.
Yeah.
I can work with it.
Cool.
I'm
Good, good, good.
I'm Sean Penn lives in San Francisco and I've never seen him. I was always disappointed I never ran into him.
I didn't know he lived
Who
in
have you
San
seen in San
Francisco.
Francisco?
Danny Glover.
Cool.
Who else? Not really anyone else. I mean, I can't remember.
I
It's not
was at a bar one time in San Francisco, and Dave Eggers was next to me, or like in the group next to mine, and he was talking about something very like San Francisco. It was like about like the proletariat or something like that was like a word that happened in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yes,
my San
yes,
Francisco treat. Is that a thing?
that was your
yes.
rice-a-roni.
That was
Yeah.
my yeah.
The next movie Phil Janot made was shot in San Francisco. It's called Final Analysis, and there's a big scene on twin cable cars, and they both have rice-a-roni ads on them. It's very weird. And you know what you don't see in San Francisco? People eating rice-a-roni.
Well, yeah.
Oh, really? That's not like in the streets
No,
everywhere. Like just everyone's.
it's a
Maybe
very
everyone.
upsetting thing
What's
for
the
people
matter with
from
you
San
guys?
Francisco to be like, why do they say that? We don't like that. We're pretentious. We don't
Some
we
guy
go
is calling his food the San Francisco treat. You could do that,
yeah.
I
It's like
guess. You
saying
don't.
like
There's no law.
hamburger helper, the Clearwater, Florida treat.
Yeah, the hamburger helper guy could do that, and we would have nothing to. We would not be able to do anything.
So this movie's kind of long. A lot of shit happens, there's a funeral. Sean
Podcast is kind of
Penn,
long.
well, you can leave anytime. If you don't like it, you can go.
Hey,
Tired of your sour.
why you
I
gotta
don't
be
like your
like that?
sour attitude.
I'm just joking around, just having some jokes.
Why don't you joke yourself to death?
All
You
right.
really mean that?
What if Darth Vader did that?
Joked people instead of choked them. The force joke.
I guess Roger Rabbit did that. But
Oh
look,
yeah,
Ed Harris is at a funeral for Gary Oldman, and then Sean Penn. Oh wait, I didn't even talk about. Yeah,
that's cool.
Ed
They're
Harris
drinking out of paper
kills.
bags at a cop's funeral. That was like a cop's funeral.
Well,
When
there's
they-
that scene where there's another funeral where he sees John Turturro, but then there's a scene where Gary Oldman gets killed by Ed Harris, and he's like, "What are you doing here, brother?" He's like, "I'm going to kill you." He's like, "What?" He's
Yeah.
really he didn't believe it was
Yeah.
going to happen, and Sean Penn had warned him and everything. He's like, "My brother will never kill me. My brother will never kill a gangster. He's a good guy." It's like, and Sean Penn's like, all right, your brother's great. I'm sorry I said anything. Jeez. I'll back you up, blah, blah, blah. But
Mhm.
Ed Harris kills Gary Oldman, shoots him 3 times. And I thought it was like kind of a lame scene. And then if you watch Gary Oldman when he dies, he tries really hard to make his physical death like interesting, but it's not that interesting. He's just kind of standing and he's like, oh, and he like falls down forward and he's like, oh. He's like wiggling kind
That's
of.
probably one of the harder things to do as an actor. To die.
And
You have
know
no
what I mean?
frame of reference. Yeah, there's no way to. What are you
Or
gonna
just like, yeah,
invest in?
Gary Oldman's trying to do something interesting with everything in his performance. And he's like, how can I die in an interesting way? So you fall on your nuts or something. Like, what do you do? You get shot and you fall over. Actually, the real thing is like, if he was smart, he would say, "Oh, there's no death is removes all cleverness." You know what I'm saying? So he would have like a very flat or like very simple death, and then that would be, and then he'd get a lot of people would like that a lot, and they'd think he was a good actor and stuff. But he didn't do that. So
He dies in Dracula, right? He kind of like old. He like
he
cries, and
dies in
then
Sid and Nancy.
Winona Ryder like stabs him with a stake. Yeah, he dies in Sid and Nancy ODs. He dies in True Romance. I mean, he has a lot of practice with this,
True.
but it's like you can only die as good as the scene is. You gotta have a good scene, and
Sure, sure.
this is kind of a weak scene.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is not doing too much special stuff. He's like doing more interesting things than like the movie is calling for, you know?
Trying his best. He never
Yeah.
took a shower.
Oh,
Is that a real fact?
He never wiped his ass.
it looks like it.
Damn, that's on IMDb.
He was also like a full blown alcoholic at this time.
Right, right, right. Oh, and he dies on the farm. Just remember.
That's a
Good
great
point.
death scene.
That's a
Yeah,
good point.
that's enough. We did that movie a long time ago. Um, something else. So we talked about how this is like a cop, undercover cop, gangster type of movie, but also it's an Irish gangster movie as opposed to like the Italian gangster movie stuff. And Irish stuff has like this Catholic. I know the Italian stuff does too, but I feel like the Irish stuff is like more, I don't
More
know,
Catholic
like
than
more like
the Holy
emo
Roman.
about it or something.
Well, there's two things the Irish, you know, they like to drink and they're Catholic.
Yeah, maybe it's the drinking.
They drink.
Just trying to think about the differences.
Whereas the Italians are all about the food. They're like, hey, where's the lasagna? Where's the spaghetti? Where's the ziti?
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of like fat Irish
No.
mobsters,
If
but
they're
there's a
fat,
lot of fat Italian mobsters.
it's because they
Damn, you
drink.
nailed it. They drink and the Italians eat.
The
That's the
closest thing
difference.
the closest thing we see to the Irish cuisine is that or cuisine is fucking Gary Oldman's like, let me get a Guinness.
Dude,
It's like, oh yeah, Guinness. He's Irish.
do you guys know about the potato famine?
Yes. How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman?
0.
Oh, come on, man. I was trying to tell Adam. I know you know that one.
I
And
actually
he's not even paying attention.
I actually find that quite offensive.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
Because you're
Just
Welsh.
no, I was just gonna say because like then the Irish potato famine was like engineered by the British Empire. Basically, they manufactured a famine because for economic reasons, something like that. Like it costs. They bought all of the potatoes. They took them all from Ireland, something like that,
Oh,
and then
I didn't know
sold
that. I
them.
didn't know that part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. The British Empire like caused the Irish potato famine.
Where'd you get this information from?
Infowars.
Why don't you look it up, motherfucker?
I mean, it's like you got a lot of British hostility.
Look, I can't recite facts clearly
Mike,
or cite sources, but I say things that are true.
it's not like this is a Rothschild conspiracy.
Yeah, you could say they were a little bit involved. But
Well, the
hey,
Irish, they're dumb.
The-
Who cares? Fuck them. They're annoying. Their
the
music
proximate-
sucks and their fucking culture's garbage. You know, my family has a lot of
You-
Irish people in it, and they're dumb.
you're okay with the Irish potato famine because you don't like Dropkick Murphys
Oh,
or the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones?
don't like it. You know what the big Irish thing is? It's like corned beef,
Cabbage.
and cabbage. It's like what?
That's disgusting.
European
isn't it
cuisine is
boi-
garbage. We all know that.
What about
Especially
Italian?
United Kingdom.
Italian
What about
is-
Italian and French?
I should have said the United Kingdom and Ireland's food is trash. That's what I should have said because that's what I meant.
Man, they're like the Robin Wright of food.
Yeah,
Oh
for
my,
me, yes.
yeah,
That's probably why they're so skinny.
disgusting.
The
The
proximate
very
cause of the
idea
Irish
is
potato famine was the infection of potato crops by blight throughout Europe during the 19,
Oh,
1840s.
Mike, come
The
on,
English,
buddy.
the
Mike,
English
You
engine,
told me to look it up.
no, I
the
thought
told
you
me to look it up. I
English,
thought you were
did.
trying
the
to get down,
English
dude.
engineered this. They took all the potatoes and
No.
sold it.
God damn it, Mike.
They
Mike,
just took it from them.
I thought you
Those
were
are
like
potatoes. We are taking those, and they just like they're evil British guys in red
British
coats.
potato famine, British genocide. Cat, the British in the case. Fucking hey, man. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to figure this
These
out
are
on the podcast. Hold on, just keep talking. Just talk about the movie for a minute. I'm gonna.
So there's a big shootout at the end. Sean Penn is mad at Harris for
I
killing
read the
Gary
entire Wikipedia,
Oldman.
Adam.
Robin Wright he tries telling like, your brother Ed Harris killed Gary Oldman, and she's like, did he? And then Sean Penn does this like speech where he's like, blah 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 something about State of Grace, and I'm just listening to the speech like, man, if this scene was good, this movie would be so much better. And there are people out there, and I see them on Twitter because I'm like, now watching State of Grace. They're like, that movie better than Goodfellas, and it's like, I hate to break it to you, it's not. This movie is nowhere
Not even
near.
close. Not
Not
even
even-
close.
Call
That
him out by name,
speech-
William.
That speech is just, it's dreadful. It's one of the worst things. It's just like that's the scene, and it doesn't make any sense. And then
Probably
Sean Penn's
Irish people saying that on Twitter. I'm
they
saying
are. No, they are. They got their dumb blue jeans and their dumb leather jacket, and they're like, they got their dumb little hats.
what? What is this description of Irish people that I've never heard before?
They
What
got
are the
their
little
blue-
hats?
Blue jeans, leather jackets, and little
Kind of
dumb
like those
little
newsy hats. Don't they wear them in gangs in
Oh.
New York? They're kind of like newsy hats. They're just like-
Yeah, dude.
And they're just like, oh, this is my favorite movie. And they're like they're sharpening their knives in their giant like Irish orphanage gang hideout from gangs in New York. And they're like,
It was a mission.
they're building their like
Ah,
their stupid weapons. And they're like, look. And
John C. Riley's in that scene.
Liam Neeson and fucking the kid from E.T. And it's just like, I'm sorry, Irish gangs. You're coming at Goodfellas. You're coming at The Godfather.
okay.
The Departed is good,
Listen.
but we all know it's not as good as Goodfellas or Mean Streets.
That's Irish. A mob from
Even
an Italian guy.
then The Sopranos. What do they got? Peaky Blinders? Are those Irishmen? Or they're British?
Hey,
But I'll say this: I'm googling Peaky Blinders right now. They got those stupid little hats.
What's your source, Adam?
I'm looking at Brill.com. Is that a
Oh, a
respectable-
newsy hat, like a newsy hat. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Today, Irish
There
and
was-
British. Hey, I can put this to bed right now, but it's going to take me a second. I got 2 paragraphs.
What's
Can you handle it?
No.
Can you shorten
Let's
it
talk-
down?
Can we talk
Oh,
about
you
Sean
want to
Penn?
find? You can't find out. You won't listen. You can't sit there for 2 paragraphs to learn the truth.
Fine. Have you read these paragraphs yet?
I skimmed.
Okay, so you know
Okay.
something interesting is going to happen.
Today, Irish and British historians categorically reject the notion that British actions during the Great Irish Potato Famine amounted to genocide. While the British government may have been unresponsive to Irish suffering, they assert its non-action was not a deliberate attempt to exterminate the Irish people. This
So you're wrong.
essay, oh fuck,
This just
That's
proves
pretty
you're wrong.
abstract.
Yeah,
of an essay.
yeah.
Hold
I
on.
don't understand.
hold on.
Where's the
This-
part about buying all the potatoes?
Hold on a
and
second.
hoarding them?
Utilizing new research and genocide theory. That argues that the
Potatoes aren't
relief
even
effort-
native to Europe.
Russell administration from the winter of 1846 to 1849 did constitute genocide. To date, historians have paid little attention to the objectives, both stated and implicit, of British famine relief efforts. Much of the analysis contends that famine relief was a compromise between the Whig Party's adherence to laissez-faire
we go.
governance and Lord Russell's basic human empathy. Hold on.
Lord
However,
Russell, Whig Party.
Seems like a pretty cool guy. However,
What year is this?
1846 to 1849. However, if British relief is viewed in the context of Britain's concerns with the Irish question, I don't know what that means, it becomes clear that the relief efforts were not designed to relieve Irish suffering as much as to permanently reform the Irish economy. As a result, Irish famine mortality gradually became the avenue through which the British pursued and attained this objective. By 1849, the forcible displacement of poor Irish courtiers under the guise of relief legislation became the major channel through which the Irish economy
Boring.
Yeah, you've
remained.
killed the pod. You're killing the pod, bro.
I was just the whole time thinking
Thus
of
the
Full Metal
British.
Jacket, the Arlie Ermy being like to Adam, like, joke yourself, Private. Joke yourself. And you're like, what do I do? Tell a
Thus, the
joke?
British government deliberately
Am I supposed to
facilitated
tell a
Irish
joke?
deaths during the Great Famine.
Not
Therefore,
with my
British-
hand, your hand.
So, just like, in case anybody is
Yeah,
wondering,
the
I'm
British
right.
didn't help out, but they didn't buy all the potatoes, like you said. That
Okay,
had
I
nothing to
didn't.
do with
Or
it.
steal them.
That was not accurate. I mean, it may be.
And I
but
said, where did
read
you get
every
this
essay.
info? And you're like, excuse me, I gotta present info?
I thought it was more common knowledge.
Come
I didn't know you.
Oh,
I didn't know you
oh,
guys. You guys. I
I'm
just
gonna
didn't know I was talking
prove
to.
you wrong,
Got a
buddy.
couple of wigs.
I'm gonna take you
here.
down.
I
This
know I was
is
dealing with
why-
two 21st century wigs. That's what you guys are.
WHIG. I'm not into the wig party. So Sean Penn
What
is
about
pissed.
a wig part? What about with your other kind of wig party?
I would love to shoot you in slow motion, the way Sean Penn shot that one guy and his finger fell off. That was a cool little effect. Did you see
That
that?
was
The
cool.
first guy
Dude,
he shot,
the squibs in this movie are juicy, man.
he's shooting everyone in slow motion with his two guns, and it's like he's killing everyone, and it's like, all right, this is cool, but I wish I had seen Gary Oldman do this. I don't want to
That
see
would've
Sean
been great.
Penn do this, the cop. It's like, okay, it's cool, he's killing everyone, but
Hey, look, I know that wasn't interesting or funny, the thing that I said. Well, maybe it was interesting, but
no.
speaking truth to power, and that's what really counts.
It was
There's
funny in a way.
I'll say this. There's
Thanks.
reading is important. It's good to fill your head with knowledge.
I read today. I can say that now.
I looked up my little guinea racist thing. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah. We all get to do our reading on the pod.
So, what did we learn? What's the lesson of this film, State of Grace?
Hmm.
Don't be a gangster.
Don't
Blood
be
is not thicker than
Catholic.
water.
You set a building on fire. You got to run around have fun doing it.
Hey, they didn't learn a bad lesson from doing that. You could get away with that.
Don't trust your family if you're Irish. Gary Oldman, big lesson.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of just saying like Irish in general are a little
Trash.
are just
Trash
untrustworthy and
I heard that the British,
unpredictable.
like, they wouldn't even eat potatoes. They thought potatoes were for pigs. It was like a subhuman food, and they're like, well, the Irish can have it.
I didn't mean that they were taking the potatoes and eating them.
No, but I'm
meant
saying
more
this
that
is
they were
something.
like-
This is no. This is
Okay.
unrelated. This is just
Okay,
something I
okay,
saw
okay,
like in a
okay.
documentary. They're like, yeah, they're like the British thought it was like subhuman food for pigs, and then they would be like, oh, you Irish people can have it. You're garbage people. I think that's
Right,
cool.
That sounds
I thi-
right too.
It's just cool to imagine a country with like all these different islands and all these different pale people, and they're like, you're beneath us. And they're like, hey, shut up. And they're like, and as an American, I just look at them like, you are all disgusting people. Like, you got to get off that island. You got to get some sunlight, some vitamin D, and run around, do things,
Get some color.
get some trees. Like, when you watch Braveheart or all these like Banshees of Inisherin, and you look around, you're like, there's no trees on this fucking island. It's just like rock and grass.
How do they
This
not get
is-
sunburned? There's no sun. I get it, but shit.
Yep, that too.
Point.
Now, who's the biggest
That's a good
loser?
point.
Gary Oldman,
Uh,
John C. Riley,
No. Yeah.
Sean Penn.
You
I
know,
can't do this. I can't be a
yeah, he's crying and
betrayer. I'm
shit.
crying in a subway car. John Turturro's
Those
like,
are my friends.
hey, man, they're bad guys. They're murderers. Let's put them in jail. Come on.
You know, I was thinking about the sex scenes in this movie because I was like, this movie is not like
I
Goodfellas
love
and
this.
stuff is like,
I love the sex scenes.
well, it's funny that you say that because there's nothing like because Robin Wright keeps her like bra on and stuff the whole time, and then she's just like kissing Sean Penn's torso and stuff. Like that's what the sex scene is.
What about when she's topless and Sean Penn is just like sucking on her nipples?
Did that happen? I missed
Yeah.
that. Fuck.
Yeah. And there's like Venetian blinds lighting it, and they're like, there's like in
God damn it.
because Jordan
I
Cronenweth
gotta
shot
check it
this
out.
movie and then he shot Final Analysis, the other Phil Janot movie, and in that movie there's a similar sex scene where Kim Basinger or
Wasn't paying
Basinger,
attention to that one for some reason, but I was
he's
paying attention to the one where
Richard
Sean
Gere is
Penn was
with like Kim Basinger,
topless.
and you see Venetian blind lighting all over her topless nipples, and then
Okay,
there's
okay,
also a
that's pretty fun.
light. Her lips are like moist, and there's like a glint of light on her lips, and I'm just like, Jordan Cronenweth, you're one of the best DPs of all time. I mean, Blade Runner, the way the lips are lit. I mean, this guy, he's so talented, and he died too young.
Amen. Was he a
Yeah,
smoker?
agreed.
He probably died from Sean Penn's secondhand smoke, let's be honest.
Yeah. The man's got a
There was
problem.
a movie. I don't know if it was this one. God, where did I hear this trivia? I heard about a movie that had so much cigarette smoke that they literally had to change lenses during
That's
the
cool.
shoot because the lenses would get covered in like thick ciggy smoke and mucus.
It is a really cool thing or it's a really good thing to add to a scene to just like make your character smoke cigarettes during a scene.
Yes.
It adds a
That's not,
lot.
they don't do that now, and they should. Smoking
It
is cool. It looks cool. And there's no denying that.
but
Trying to find the
it
sex scene.
smells so bad and it like burns your eyes and like it's so cool in movies they smoke in bed with like
Yes.
and it's like that's so smelly and gross. Like just smoke
Smoking inside is nasty. Yeah.
having smoke on your pillow and your like bed sheets and all that shit.
What are,
Ash.
Gross.
Ash getting everywhere.
is the
Burning
sex scene the
you.
one with Burgess Meredith?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about him. He's like, I saw them kill John C. Riley. I got good eyes. It's like, where were you in the scene? You were in that scene seeing this? This is this, what is this writing? It's like, I saw them.
Down at the docks, even though I
And
can
then that
barely
dude's just
walk.
like not around.
Burgess
I'm
Meredith.
not finding this scene.
Rocky. I'm sorry, you're not finding it. Google it. You'll probably find it on Mr. Skin or a screen cap for
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Skin.
Good old Mr. Skin.
Yeah,
Show
he
some respect. Call him Mr.
it's like crazy that website exists, right? Like he doesn't own these movies, and he's just showing nude scenes from them.
Yeah, and he's like made $1 million from it.
Oh, he's made a lot more than that.
Whoa.
2 million.
I don't actually
it
know the
2
real
million?
number. I'm making this up.
That's
I'm sorry.
100% more. That's a lot more.
I'm not seeing a scene where she's getting her nipples sucked. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, hold on.
Mr. Skin,
take
State
it
of
in.
Grace. Here's a little tip for you, Adam. So sometimes I'll go Mr. Skin, State of Grace. Okay. So then I go on that website and it'll say 2 stars, brief nudity. I'm like, okay, Robin Wright. But it's like you have to pay to see the clip. But if you have the movie, the time code you can see 38 minutes. So if you go to minute 38, you will see this sex scene.
That's
And
very
you'll
helpful,
see-
Mr.
That's
Skin.
sneaky.
I'm really good at finding boobies in movies. Okay.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll watch a movie just to see the boobies.
What's an example of a movie you watch just for the boobies?
E.T.
E.T.'s
Drew
got some
Barrymore.
huge tits.
Do you see Drew Barrymore's nipples at a minute or an hour
The
and 20,
child as a
an
child, you're
hour,
saying?
an hour and 5 minutes?
Isn't she like 5 years old in that movie?
I mean, come on, Adam.
I mean, it's behind a shirt
What?
at least.
Oh no, I don't know what that. What do you mean? Come on,
Look, you're
come
not
on.
talking about.
What? What are you talking about?
Look, I already found the nipples. I'm looking at Robin Wright.
I saw him too. It was cool.
And this is a body double, though. This is
I'm
the
not really
question.
interested.
It's weird. There's like another sex scene that happens before that where it's the same thing is happening, but it's to Sean Penn's body.
Now, if you like this, there's another scene in there's a movie called I Know Who Killed Me, and it's Val Kilmer, and it's the chick from Willow. What's her name? Forget. The princess with the baby in Willow, Joanne Whaley. Now they have a sex scene, and they ended up getting married, and they had kids. So it's like, it's cool if you're like the kid of like a famous actress. You can see your parents have sex in a movie.
Yeah, that's special.
I was thinking about Owen Klein, like he's on Letterboxd and he has all
Mhm.
his movies. And I'm like, has he seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Has he seen Phoebe Cates? That's his mom. Get out of the swimming pool, get topless. Because
And then
that's
Judge
like,
Reinhold beating off to it or whatever.
yeah, like has he seen
That's
that?
got to be cool. The Val Kilmer movie is called Kill Me Again, which is
Kill Me
a
Again.
fucked up title.
I know Who Killed Me is the Lindsay Lohan movie. I made a
Yeah,
mistake.
that was newer, definitely.
Kill Me Again is like, can that sentence ever even be true? Like
Well,
truly said?
well, in the film, Adam, what they do is they faked Joe and Whaley's death, okay? And she's dead once, but then, she betrays Val Kilmer, they have a deal, and then he has to kill her again.
Oh, I see. All right,
It's
let's stop.
it's cool. You ever see James Bond? You only live
No,
twice. You only live twice.
who's that?
So James Bond, he dies,
Who is that?
but he comes back as a Japanese man, and Sean Connery has tape on the side of his eyes, and he's like,
Really?
"Hi, I'm Japanese," and he goes to Japan. They're like, "Hey, look, it's a Japanese guy. We better do business with him." Mike, you've seen that one, right?
Yes, I
That
have.
sounds awesome.
I don't think they
Master
actually. Well,
disguise.
yeah, I guess they had to use tape. What the hell else would they have used?
I
Let me
didn't
ask
know
you
he
this.
was
So,
I didn't know James Bond was a master of disguise. All right, what are our ratings? Because I
Give
need
me
to
your rating,
leave.
big guy.
I would say this is a solid film. Not too special though, to be honest. I would give this a 3.
I would say I'm gonna go with 3.5. I liked it. I would probably recommend The Departed over it, but this one was also good, star-studded cast, and it was interesting.
I give it 3.5 also. I'm with Big Mike on this. I like the acting. I like Ed Harris, you know. Gary Oldman
Say
is
that you like
flashy
Gary
and cool.
Oldman, dude. Come on, motherfucker. Give it up.
Now, Adam, are you going to compromise or are we going to compromise? I mean, what's your criticism? What's holding you back?
Just like the kind of cliches and stuff like that. And then ultimately I don't know, like Ed Harris, I felt like he didn't fit in the role to me. Even though he's a solid good actor, he's doing his Ed Harris thing. I didn't really buy him as like an Irish mob brother guy to fucking Gary Oldman. So, but hey, I liked the cinematography. I like when a movie is trying to do complicated things. I like actors that are trying to do hard things, like Gary Oldman driving on the right side of the road and all that. So I could go up to 3.5. I don't care. I don't care.
Are we
Nice, got
underselling
you.
it? Should we go up to 4?
No, no, no.
No,
What
I'll
about
also
Pat?
say no.
For Pat.
Do it for Pat, Mike.
I mean, what you want me to say? It's better than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do like a
Okay,
top 10 and stuff too.
we can go 4. That's fine.
Adam,
I
are you
mean,
into the
Sure,
4?
I'm
yeah.
easy. I'm
Four is cool.
easy.
Four is cool. Let's why don't we let's just say this is a five
But
star
are we
movie.
overselling it? I mean, come on. It's kind of long.
Oh, here we go.
I
Wayne wants to
have to
pull us
get
back.
off.
Why?
My wife has texted me saying, are we wrapping up soon?
What is she? What's her problem?
Hey, she's had a long day. She's on day one of her period.
You know,
Hey, TMI. Come
yeah, we
on.
don't need to know that, and I'm sure she don't want us to know
That's
that
the
either.
hardest day, is what I'm saying. So,
Yeah, it's fair enough.
and she didn't like it when she told me that. I was like, oh, it's ragtime. And then I started talking about how
Well,
I was asking her if ragtime was the kind of music, if that's like the feeling of being on your period, that's what ragtime music is about.
So let me ask you a question, Adam. You
that
were
is
saying,
funny, but I don't think she would think that's funny.
It thought it was a little funny.
did you say
Okay, right on.
You said Gary Oldman had his steering wheel on the right side of the car?
Pardon me. So silly. Hey, I just revealed that I'm British and I've been pretending to be an American. Just kidding.
He's an American man. He drives an American car.
Yes, you got me. You caught me in my web of
You get the
something.
web of. I'm tired of your web of
That's a web.
lies.
I'm in a
Okay.
web.
3.5. It's a good rating. I mean, look, these gunshots. I'm watching the movie again. There's some great gunshots.
The
The
action scenes were
squibs are
good.
juicy, baby. They're thick ass squibs. Mike, would you fuck those squibs?
Hell yeah.
What about when
Nice.
Sean Penn's at the bar and he's like, "Who'd you see take out John C. Riley?" And the guy's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "All right, I gotta go to the bathroom." But then he just grabs the guy and he has the gun and he holds it up to his head. It's fucking cool.
There's a lot of reckless use of firearms in this movie. It kind of makes me want to bring the rating back down, actually.
I would love to use a firearm on my girlfriend.
Dude, tell me about it.
Just like, Goodfellas. Well,
Just as a goof.
now next week's movie. Now, should we keep watching New York movies or do we just need to get to the West Coast, the best coast? And I'm thinking next, the best coast. We're not doing LA, Sleaze. We're doing all Southwest. We're doing San Diego. We're doing
Southwest Sleaze.
desert. We're doing ocean. We're just doing cool movies that are West Coast. We need to get rid of these dirty, filthy New Yorkers with their disgusting city, their subways.
Let's clean it up.
We did the desert. We did the oceans. We need
Some wide open spaces. We're the chicks. I almost said Dixie Chicks. Whew, that was a close one.
I thought we were just going to do more Irish movies.
Or we can do more Irish movies. Who doesn't love a nice Irish film?
Michael Collins, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. What else we got?
That's a Ken Loach movie, isn't it? The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
These are lame movies.
Michael Collins is tight.
I never saw it.
I mean, they're okay, but come on.
Yeah. No, okay, let's go to the West Coast. I'm cool with that.
Rob. What's
Roy?
the Rob? Roy, yeah.
Some cool sword fights.
You know what, Mike? William's
Yes.
never seen Princess Bride.
I also have not seen The Princess Bride. I know this is a
Wow.
huge problem. It sounds totally lame for all the
How
things.
come you
No,
don't
it's
think
cool.
I've
It's
seen?
great.
How come you don't think I've seen Princess Bride?
You told me a bunch of times that you haven't seen it. Is you just lying?
I've seen it so many times. What are you
Okay.
talking
Yeah,
about?
that's what
You
everybody
say all
says.
the
Everyone watches
time
it
that you've-
over and over and over. They've seen it.
I used
All
to
right,
watch it as a little
kid.
kid. Princess
Yeah,
Buttercup.
that's what everyone said.
Okay. Why did you tell me all the time that you never saw it?
Because I don't like you or respect you.
What? Why do we talk constantly and do a
You
podcast
never
together?
left. You never left me alone.
All I had to do was just leave,
Yeah.
and the friendship
like,
would be over immediately.
Well, I mean,
Wow, this is not a good feeling. I'm going to be honest.
how come you didn't think I like? Also, it's like this guy doesn't listen. I'm just gonna fuck with him.
Okay,
Like,
what do I have to say? It's not-
this guy doesn't listen to the things I say, so I'm not gonna tell him the truth.
That's wrong. That's not a good solid foundation to build a friendship on. But I have to go. I'm being told it's time.
Leave.
All
Sign
right,
off.
I will leave. Okay, but everything's fine. I'm just saying. I'll be.
Kicked him out.
Oh,
Just make your Irish goodbye, dude. Now, this next week's movie, I kind of want to. Now, I kind of like Jordan Cronenweth so much on this movie. I want to do another movie of his, Cutter's Way. So we're doing Cutter's Way. Jeff Bridges.
what's it about?
It's about a yacht salesman.
Cutter's
Played by
Way.
Jeff Bridges.
Cutter's Way.
It's got the dad from Home Alone.
Okay, guy with an eye patch. I like that.
It's cool. It's hip. It's fun.
Thriller noir. Okay. Look at it.
It's tight. It was
I'm down.
originally called Cutter and Bone, but now it's called Cutter's Way. It's cool. I liked it. I watched it recently. I thought it was cool.
Is this another one you watched as a kid, or this is one you like?
No. This is a cult movie I saw as an adult.
Cult classic. All right, let's check it out.
Later.
Later, man.